Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review. If you are new to my channel, I just want to give you this incredibly warm welcome and say thank you so much for viewing my content. I really appreciate it so much. As you clicked on this link, you know exactly what you're here for. You're here for my reviews on Bill and Ted Face the Music 2020. That's right, this movie is awesome. Guys, it's rated PG and the duration is 1 hour and 31 minutes long. It's an adventure comedy music movie. The director of Bill and Ted Face the Music is Dean Perisic, and reprising their role obviously as Bill and Ted is Keanu Reeves himself, the brilliant, the amazing Keanu Reeves that everyone loves, as Ted, obviously. Alex Winter also reprising his role as, obviously, Bill. Kristen Schaal, who plays Kelly. Samara Weaving, who plays Thea. Bridget Laundrie Payne, who plays Billy. The amazing William Sadler, who plays, again, Death. And many more characters in this movie, guys. Far out. I'm not even kidding you guys. This film is incredible, guys. And I will share my reviews on Bill and Ted Face the Music right after this synopsis. Once told they'd save the universe during a time-traveling adventure, two would-be rockers from San Dimas, California, find themselves as a middle-aged dad still trying to crank out a hit song and fulfill their destiny. So today here in Australia, it's actually Father's Day. That has absolutely nothing at all in any way, shape or form to do with the fact of why I went and saw this movie. I went and saw this movie because I really appreciate this franchise. I think it's fun, I think it's exciting, and I think that what they've done with it is really well done. First of all, I'm going to say this, guys. Straight off the bat, prior to seeing this movie, I actually went and saw on Stan, it was streaming free on Stan, the first two movies, which is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Then today, I got an opportunity to go and see Bill and Ted Face the Music. And what did I think about Bill and Ted Face the Music? This is my thoughts, guys. This movie is so much funnier than what I expected it to be, and I kid you not, in any way, shape or form, I was absolutely, totally blown away by this movie. Seriously, I genuinely, honestly, wholeheartedly really mean that. And before I go on any further into my thoughts on this movie, I just want to tell you really quickly, yes, there is a post-credit scene, and yes, it is really funny. Seriously. For those of you who've been following my channel for any period of time, I just want to give you the heads up there. I do not do spoilers, but no spoilers in my reviews, because why I think personally, in my personal opinion, that spoilers are not fair. So if you want to go and see this movie, go and see this movie. If you want it to be spoiled, then go and watch someone else's review who are going to spoil it for you, because there are a lot of spoilers in this movie. They do, which is great, which is fantastic, and it's a trilogy, this is the best part about this movie that I think, besides the character chemistry, guys, is they actually do bring back a lot of the original cast, which is so good, and obviously they're bringing an incredibly fresh batch of cast members. The question is that I asked when I was going into this movie, I asked myself, did Bill and Ted, the characters of this movie, were they as convincing as literally they were in the first two films? Did they carry on that trait as being so connected and have that character chemistry? And those of you who have been following my channel for any period of time, you guys know that I love character chemistry. In my personal opinion, character chemistry is a really big deal in movies, specifically in trilogies, because if character chemistry doesn't work, then the third movie of the trilogy just drops the ball, then it doesn't work for the rest of the movie. Guys, my personal opinion on this movie, the character chemistry is so well executed. It is brilliant. It is funny. In no way, shape or form at all. I was actually genuinely surprised that more people in the cinema that I was in specifically didn't laugh as much as me and the person beside me. There was a couple of people in the same row as me, and we laughed at literally almost every single joke, and I mean really laughed. It was really funny. Most of the cinema didn't really laugh as hard as often as we did, but in saying that, I honestly, guys, from word go. Straight off the bat, they do a lot of really, really funny and incredibly clever jokes in this movie. Now, one of the things I loved about this movie, and I really, really mean this, I love this element of this movie, guys. It really is set in today's era, and I mean, like, really. They really, really knew, the director really understood how to bring the movie forward to today's time. Even the elements of the crafts that they go to the back and forth into the future with have been modernized for today's audience, and it was really, really, really well done. One of the things I loved about this movie actually were Bill and Ted's children in this movie. Again, as they said, this is the third movie. This is directly come after the Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. And it's funny because Bill and Ted's kids, Bill and Ted, their two daughters in this movie, are actually as Bill and Ted were in their heydays. And I really, really, really thought that they sold that chemistry in their elements of this movie. And also the princesses, for those of you who have seen these two movies, you'll know what I'm talking about. The princesses, yes, the princesses were, again, very, very similar. I think they were portrayed, I think the princesses were portrayed by different actors this time, but it was convincing enough that I didn't realize. In fact, I like watching it, I didn't know. I was like, oh, I didn't know if it was different, but they sounded exactly the same as the first two, which was perfect. Like literally, absolutely perfect. And if you have seen these movies, guys, you'll see by the poster, the phone booth, all the same stuff. It was really, really, really well executed. This movie is a knockout. Like it really is, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I really thoroughly, wholeheartedly enjoyed every moment of this movie. Truly, even to the end credits scene. In fact, one of the things that confused me about this movie, and looking back, I was like, huh? What does that have to do with anything? It was actually the fact that the body of the movie itself ends, and then there's this like, then the credits roll, so not the actual credit scroll, but like who directed it and stuff like that. And then there's this montage of people like playing instruments and stuff all over the world and filming themselves and stuff. And I haven't got a clue what that had to do with the movie. It was fun to watch. I just have no idea what that meant to the rest of the movie. Guys, I guess the question you guys are asking is, Bill and Ted, played by these two incredible actors, did they actually bring their characters from the first two movies? Like, were they believable as what they were back then? And did they do the whole guitar thing is when they get excited and stuff? Which, when I saw this movie, they don't actually do that until a certain scene of this movie. And I was like, oh, they're not going to do it. But then they do. They don't do it anywhere near as regularly as the first movie and probably the second movie. But they still do incorporate it at really, really, really convincing times in the movie. And it really, really worked out each and every single time. Their chemistry, guys, no way, shape or form can I deny it. They really, both Bill and Ted, really, really do bring their A game. Like, honestly, it is like their future selves have been brought to the now, and they just went with the flow and brought that in, because both of the characters actually stated in interviews that they rewatched the first two movies just to see how they work together and their character and dynamic and just what they're about and what they were going with. And literally, they went with it and it worked so well. I thoroughly, highly, highly recommend you see this movie. I got to see this movie in advanced screenings here in Australia. And obviously it comes out, I believe it's next week. So if you do have an opportunity, guys, I thoroughly, highly recommend you check out Bill and Ted's Face the Music, because this movie really, really, really sets the bar. It's fun, it's exciting, it's funny. The visual effects are absolutely on point. The storyline is really, really interesting and really well executed. And I have to say, there's this one character in this movie, guys, who I had no idea about, never heard of him before ever. But apparently he was a very a very known figure, but I didn't know who it was, and I was like, who the heck's that guy? I'm not going to say who it was, guys, because it doesn't really matter anyway, because because I don't know who it was doesn't mean anyone else would have known or you probably do know who it was, but I didn't know who just one character in the movie. He comes into the movie and they're like, oh yeah, it's such and such, and I kept thinking I didn't know who it was. There's a really, really interesting cameo that happens in this movie, guys. Really, really, really short-lived cameo, but it has to do. He's a big, big part of the music industry world, and it was pretty cool to see that guy in this movie. But as I said, really, like literally 2-second cameo, but the way that Bill and Ted play themselves throughout this movie in each scene is really, really funny. It's really well executed, and especially their children and their wives. And that scene, and if you haven't seen the trailer, go and watch the trailer and then go and watch the movie, because there's a scene where they have couples therapy. No way, shape, or form, guys, at all am I kidding when I say this. Those sequences of the therapy sessions, man alive, that was so funny. Oh man, was that funny. Man, that was really, really funny. The only thing that I have to say about the therapy sessions is once something happens to the therapist in the movie, you actually don't see her again. And I was, in my head, I thought you would have because of the way she left the scene, but you don't see her again after that. Not that that does anything to the storyline or is vital to the rest of the movie. It's just that element of her being in the movie, she was just gone. But in saying that, guys, this is a great fun movie. Really, really, really funny. Really funny movie. Incredible special effects, incredible CGI, incredible cast chemistry. Honestly, absolute knockout. I definitely salute this movie, and I really, really hope with the cast that they have now with the two daughters, I really hope that they're going to launch this franchise into a fourth movie. We'll see how we go. And obviously utilize that post-credit scene to like gel in to another movie. They probably won't. This might be their last one, and that could be it, because both cast members have said that they wanted the script to be absolutely incredible, and which it was. It really worked. It was really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. And for those of you who are asking, would I go back and do what I tell you guys I do all films, and that is, does Bill and Ted Face the Music have, in my personal opinion, what I like to call, guys, rewatchability? Does Bill and Ted have rewatchability, guys? And that is what I say to you, absolutely 100%. I honestly think that all three movies have incredible rewatchability, absolutely, and especially this one. It's fun, it's exciting, brilliant storyline, brilliant character chemistry, absolutely incredible. I highly recommend that you go and check out personally yourselves Bill and Ted Face the Music. For those of you who've been following my channel for any period of time, you guys know that I love to give you guys trivia in my movie reviews, because trivia, in my personal opinion, is like icing on a cake. And who doesn't love cake? Oh, I love cake so much. Guys, so it's trivia time! During filming in a neighborhood in Louisiana, the cast and crew were often greeted by local residents. One day, Keanu Reeves noticed a sign on a lawn that read, "You're breathtaking." He stopped, got out of the car, went to the sign and autographed it. After finding out to whom the sign belonged, he went to the family and posed for a photograph with them. Next piece of trivia is, guys, alt rock band Weezer released an original song, Beginning of the End, Wild Stallions Edit, as the first single for the film's soundtrack on August 14th, 2020. Weezer's first gig was closing act for the alt rock band of Dogstar in 1992, which Keanu Reeves was a member of at the time. Next piece of trivia, guys. In May 2020, Alex Winter launched a social media appeal for members of the public to submit 30 seconds of video of themselves rocking out to music clip from the film, with some of the clips from the film being used in the finished final edit of the film. Next piece of trivia, guys. In this film, Kelly's Rufus' daughter, The late George Carlin played Rufus in the first two films, Bed, and his real-life daughter's name is Kelly. The Kelly role was a recognized and honor Carl in this movie. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Alex Winter, Bill, Keanu Reeves, Ted, Hal Landon Jr., Captain Logan, Amy Scotch, Missy, Ed Solomon, Stupid Demon, and Chris Matheson, Ugly Demon, are the only actors to appear in all three Bill and Ted movies and newly shot material. However, George Carlin, Rufus, who died in 2008, appeared in an archive footage from the first film. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Samara Weaving won the role of Thea in this movie after Keanu Reeves found that she was the niece of Hugo Weaving. Keanu Reeves had worked with Hugo on the Matrix 1999 trilogy. Next piece of trivia is, guys, to prepare for his role as Bill, Alex Winter took acting lessons again as he was busy with the filmmaking career. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Alex Winter confirmed on his Twitter account in February 2nd, 2019 that Bill and Ted was happening officially. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the princesses Joanna and Elizabeth have never been played by the same actresses throughout the franchise. In Excellent Adventure, they were played by Kimberly LaBelle and Diane Franklin. In Bogus Journey, Sarah Trigger and Annette Ascor replaced them, and now Jama Mazer and Erin Hayes take the roles. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the film was released 29 years after Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, 1991. It took over a dozen years for this movie to be materialized. Despite having a script ready since at least the late 2000s, there were also certain technical problems in its development, as there were much problems in searching for a distributor and certain script revisions. The film was eventually approved in 2018, and the film began filming on July 1st, 2019. Next and final piece of trivia, guys, and I will leave you with this one. I really appreciate you sticking in here. Thank you so much. Mozart's first line, "Where I hear a digilist," translates to "Who's the coolest bastard here?" Literally, who is the horniest so here? That's so cool. Guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you being here. Leave your comments in the comment section below if you have seen Bill and Ted Face the Music. Let me know what your thoughts are on this movie. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Don't forget who's bringing this movie review for Bill and Ted Face the Music. This is Superman Steve, guys. Loving you always. Take care of yourselves and flying out. See you next time.